What's up guys, welcome back to episode 9 of this series where I attempt to create an anime from scratch and sell it to online streaming services. Even with 4 freelancers working on this project, it still takes a heck of a lot of time to get any animation done. So in today's episode, I'm going to be focusing on how to pitch this series. I'm going to split this episode into 2 parts, Plan A and Plan B. Let's get into this. Plan A, we take it to the streaming services. This shouldn't be a surprise to any of you because it's been the plan all along. But how the hell do I get this in front of Crunchyroll or Netflix? Well, Netflix is not going to be easy. See, they don't take direct pitches, so we need to find a distributor or studio that they already work with and convince them to make our anime. Crunchyroll doesn't seem to take on direct pitches either, but after a little digging, I did find something worthwhile. See, Crunchyroll has expanded into content creation in a big way, with a whole division devoted to creating original content. With Crunchyroll Originals, animation occurs in-house within 2 production facilities in Los Angeles and Tokyo. A quick Google search tells me who's the head of the studio, so you can probably guess what I did next. Okay, so before I start spamming anyone, the first step is to send off a cold email. I don't actually have her email address, so to find it, I'm going to head over to hunter.io and use that to work out how Crunchyroll structures their emails. And on that basis, I'm going to take her full name and work out what her email is and then drop her a quick cold email and see how she responds. Okay guys, so the head of the studio at Crunchyroll has already come back to me surprisingly quickly, and it's a bit disappointing to say the least. Feeling kind of deflated about it, but what can you do? They won't take direct pitches, so their solution is that we go through a studio that they already work with, or through an agent that they're familiar with, and that's the only way that you can get in to pitch them. Okay, so that's not the end of the world, guys. We've just got to find another way around. And already today, I've gotten an intro from a friend of a friend to a director in LA who's going to hook me up with a pitch to Disney+. Now, there's no guarantee that this is going to happen, but it's a good start. And if we can start getting in front of these studios, there's a possibility of actually making this happen and getting our anime onto one of these streaming services. Plan B, we bring the studios to us. Most studios don't want to take on unknown artists. It's a massive risk for them because unknown artists don't bring their own audience. So it's my job to convince them otherwise. But here's the thing, if I fail, we can't just call it a day. That would be a complete waste of time. So in parallel to pitching studios, I need to be building up the audience for this anime. How do I go about that? Well, I'm going to have to create the comic book version of my book. More specifically, I'm going to have to turn it into a webtoon. Now this is a marathon and not a sprint, and usually it would take years to build up a sizable audience and create a successful webtoon. I have to write and create artwork for enough episodes for it to gain traction, and then it just takes time for it to gain popularity. But I'm going to give it a go at speedrunning this process. To kick it off, we already have our first book, so I'm going to turn that into a webtoon. To do this, I do a quick search on, you guessed it, Fiverr.com to find webtoon artists. It's going to cost anywhere from $10 to $50 per illustration. I'm trying to keep it at the low end because we'll need around 30 illustrations per chapter. To get this done quick, I'm reaching out to several illustrators as it will take them 3 or 4 weeks to finish each chapter, so I need several artists working in parallel so that I can create multiple episodes of this webtoon in advance. That way I can make sure that I'm publishing to webtoon on a consistent basis. But it's not just enough to create the webtoon. There are thousands of creators I'm going to compete against for views. The artwork and story have to be top notch, otherwise people won't continue reading the series, and we need returning viewers to signal to webtoon that this is worth promoting. And at the same time, I need to figure out a way to accelerate the growth of my new webtoon. To do that, I need some creative marketing. Obviously, I need you guys to help, so when it does go live on there, I'll let you know, and please go check out the comic, sub to it, like it, comment on each episode, you know the drill, show me some love there, please. And here, of course, please smash that like button. But at the same time, I need to get this in front of serious webtooners because they're the ones already on the platform, and Webtoon's algorithm is most likely going to recommend my comic to people based on overlapping preferences. So I need to get in front of readers of top webtoons that have gone on to become anime. Time to work some magic. You're a wizard, Harry! What I'm about to try is something you can do for any business or project that should boost organic traffic. So entrepreneurs amongst you, pay attention.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Google's keyword planning tool. It's called Google Keyword Planner. You can just search it on Google and you'll find it. I'm going to do a quick search for webtoons to see what other keywords and phrases people are searching for. And that's going to give me a bunch of results so that I know which search terms have the highest search volume and the lowest competition. Now I don't care about the UK, I want global, so I can ignore that. Give it a sec, and I'm going to turn off branded because we don't care, we just want non-brand search terms. Got to think about search intent here, so I don't want to rank for branded search terms. You can use other tools, by the way, to do this. I'm using Google's because one, it's free, and two, it's their data anyway, so I don't want to be paying for something like SEMrush or Ahrefs, which are some of the most popular tools. Now, as you can see, there are shit tons of keywords to go through. These will be useful for us later, but right now I just want one particular keyword, something with low competition and reasonably high search volume. And I've also got to make sure that my territory is set to global. And in this instance, I need global results, not local, which I've already said to you. I'm scrolling through this, I can see there are a lot of searches for webtoons by title. Those are no good to me, and Google hasn't caught on that these are essentially branded search terms. So I'm going to try and narrow down my search a bit by something that I would consider searching for if I was looking for webtoons. And there we go, Best Webtoons gets 12,100 searches per month globally, and it's a low competition keyword. Let's go over to Namecheap and see if we can find an exact match domain for that. So it looks like someone's squatting on that. I don't want to get into a bidding war and try and offer for that, so I'm going to have a look for something else. I can try something similar, which Google will probably rank for the same term. Let's try top webtoons. There's a lower search volume, only 25% of search volume, still low competition. Let's see if we can buy that. Come on, I want to search top web. Again in 2019, so it's probably the same person's thought ahead and bought all of these up. Okay. Well, it's still low competition if I'm taking best webtoons. So whilst normally I'd want to find an exact match domain to give me an edge, I think I'm going to go ahead and go for a variant on best webtoons because it's got decent search volume there. I like to think I know enough about SEO to make this work regardless, so I'm going to go ahead and buy a variant of this and I'll work on that basis.
Here's where you have to put in some actual work. I'm going to build a content site on my new domain, and I'm going to optimize the shit out of the on-page SEO, and I'm going to create an epic piece of content that has a high chance of ranking at the top of Google search results for the exact phrases best webtoons. I'm not going to bore you all by vlogging this, but here's a quick summary. A simple WordPress site will do just fine, and my epic piece of content is going to be what's called a really long list, or RLL. This is a type of content recommended by the father of SEO, Brian Dean, and which is exactly as it sounds. If you want to learn the technical aspects of SEO, go over to backlinko.com. Brian has a load of free content that will teach you everything you need to know. I'm not going to bother with that here. As for my RLL, it's going to be a long list of the best webtoons, and I think you guys can guess which one I'm going to rank as number 1 on that list. Yeah. Some of you probably feel that's unfair. Well, that's just business. I make no claims to this list being unbiased. Anyway, once that's done, I'll get the site live, and in order to improve the site's chances of ranking, I'll need to create regular content for the site or pay someone to do so. 1 article a week should get the job done, and I'll be following the same process that led me to this keyword, except in the follow-up articles, I'm looking for related keywords or LSI terms. It will take a few months to rank for my target keyword, but when it does, it will be a great source of organic traffic that should drive more people to the Azarus webtoon, and in theory, boost its performance on webtoon itself. Now, depending on budget, there are other ways I can generate traffic for my webtoon. The most obvious would be targeting relevant keywords on Google AdWords. I'm going to give it a go and see what kind of cost per click I can get out of it. I'll update you guys on the progress of that later. Quick thank you to Fiverr for helping to make this series possible. If you need to hire a freelancer for your business or personal projects, check out fiverr.com. Use my link in the description below to get up to $100 off your first order. Right, this would be a good time for me to get the hell out of here. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please smash that like button and make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. That's a wrap.